Hi, my name is Lauren Fields, and I'm an incoming senior at Cal Poly, majoring in business administration, concentrating in marketing, and minoring in integrated marketing communications. For my policy that I wanted to analyze, I chose the Earned Income Tax Credit policy. So what exactly is the EITC, or Earned Income Tax Credit? The Earned Income Tax Credit was created as a huge federal cash transfer for low-income households. This federal tax credit encourages work and rewards those who work more by increasing the amount of credit as one's earned income rises until it reaches a maximum. So who exactly is the EITC meant for? It is meant for low-income workers who need a way to gain more money. By receiving the EITC, these low-income workers have an incentive to either join the labor force or continue working even more to receive more money as their income level increases. So the amount of earned income tax credit that one receives depends on their income level, marital status, and the number of children that they have. While the EITC does great things for families with children, the case is not necessarily the same for workers who are not raising children and are not married. Although the Earned Income Tax Credit was created to assist low-income families, many families with lower income and with parents of lower education do not know about the Earned Income Tax Credit. Therefore, if more people of lower income families can learn about the EITC, they can maybe benefit from it too. So what problem is the EITC looking to solve? The Earned Income Tax Credit was designed by policymakers to encourage work of those, especially in low-income households, by subsidizing wages. The EITC wants to get families out of poverty by incentivizing them to work more, therefore making more from the EITC. So although the Earned Income Tax Credit is beneficial to low-income families in many ways, it comes at the cost of those workers who are not raising children. These childless adults or non-custodial parents who work at minimum wage are sometimes ineligible for the EITC or receive very little compared to those married and with children. Married couples are also at a cost when it comes to the EITC. Since the EITC is an incentive for many to join the labor force, this can directly affect married couples. This is because if one decides to start working, their EITC will most likely go down because it is based off of household income and not personal income. Another main cost of the EITC is fraud and errors within it. Since the 1980s, the EITC error rate has been more than 20%, and the error and fraud rate in 2014 was 27%. With this error and fraud rate, the EITC had $18 billion in overpayments. By using false information regarding income, marital status, or children, people can also receive excess EITC. Although there are a few costs of the Earned Income Tax Credit, including that it isn't as helpful to low-income workers without children than with children, that married couples may start receiving less, and that there is fraud and error, there are still many benefits to this policy that I will go into on the next slide. The EITC reduces poverty among families with children, as 4.1 to 5.8 million people, including 3 million children, were lifted out of poverty in 2016. Not to mention, the EITC reduces the proportion of unmarried households with 3 or more children in poverty by 1/5, and the proportion of married households with 3 or more children in poverty by 1/3. While the EITC reduces poverty, it also encourages and rewards workers who receive it. Since the amount of EITC one receives depends on the income that they are generating, workers are encouraged to work more because a worker's EITC grows with their earnings. Not only does the EITC encourage those who are already working to take on more hours, but it also creates an incentive to join the labor force and reap the benefits. Another benefit of the EITC has to do with the mental health of recipients. There has been major research linking poverty to poorer health outcomes, but the EITC can improve those health outcomes. The EITC can also benefit the children of the families receiving EITC by improving their English and math in school. The EITC mainly benefits those low-income families with children coming out of poverty who are looking for ways to make more money through working more. This is because the EITC was made to encourage work of those low-income families who need to earn more money for their family. The people who gain the most out of the Earned Income Tax Credit are those working low-income families with children. By being married and having children, you will definitely receive more of the Earned Income Tax Credit than those who may have a low income and are working but don't have kids and are not married. The people who lose under the EITC are childless adults or non-custodial parents because they do not receive any or as much EITC as those married with children. Since the amount of EITC one receives depends on income, marital status, and number of children, someone who is married with children and a low income will receive more than someone who has a low income but is single with no children. While the Earned Income Tax Credit lifts these families with children out of poverty, the single people without children who earn low wages fall deeper into poverty. A way to better this policy would be to make the Earned Income Tax Credit more equitable for childless workers, as they are those who need it the most. Due to the Earned Income Tax Credit, the labor supply of low earners will increase, making the labor supply curve shift to the right, reducing market wages. Labor force participation increases because people see the Earned Income Tax Credit as an incentive to gain employment. However, it can also have the opposite effect, where those receiving EITC reduce work because the money they receive from EITC helps them meet their income needs with less work. By receiving more money through the Earned Income Tax Credit, they may believe that they have done enough and don't have an incentive to work more. After learning all about the Earned Income Tax Credit policy, I believe that it is a good policy in place made for low-income working families in order to help them out of poverty and provide for their family. However, I do wish it could help the low-income workers that don't have kids as much as it does to those who do have kids.